Technology makes it possible for any startup to go global almost instantly. But the big question is, are local startup thinking global? My guest today will be discussing these and other issues. But before then, do you think personal computers are dead and buried completely? If you ask me, I will say yes, sort of. But the truth is that they keep transforming. So today we present you the hybrid, better known as all-in-one computers, and what you should bear in mind before purchasing one. My name is Chukwemeka Agbata, and this is Tech Trends. Did you know that a networked multifunction printer actually behaves like a computer and can serve as a gateway to hack into a secure environment? Well, here are some tips to help you prevent a possible breach. Number one, control access to such printers and its function at all levels, as well include them in your network security measures and policies. And then lastly, ensure that data is secure at every stage of the workflow, from the data path along the network to the device itself. This will help you stay secured. Stay with us for more of these tech tips on each edition of the show.
It's been reported that Nigeria has enough data to supply all her citizens, but that has become near impossible owing to a number of challenges ranging from infrastructure to political reasons. But a Nigerian company is reported to have started the deployment of aerial fiber optic infrastructure from Kano in Nigeria to Gazawa in Niger Republic. The network, which will run from Kano State through Katsina before arriving at Gazawa, will be 228 kilometers long, which is expected to further boost the ICT industry of Niger, which is one of the lowest internet penetration rates in West Africa. And a NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory on Tuesday, March the 31st, conducted spin tests on the low-density Supersonic Decelerator ahead of scheduled test flights. The Low-Density Supersonic Decelerator, or LDSD, is a transportation vehicle made of various devices currently being tested to transport heavier payloads to Mars. Among the devices that will be tested are two pressure vessels called Supersonic Aerodynamic Decelerators, or SIADs, and a parachute capable of slowing down vehicle entry from supersonic to subsonic speed. Today's test was only the beginning in a series to be conducted on the LDSD to confirm its capability to transport heavy cargo.
We're going to do a spin test of our vehicle that's going to ship to Hawaii in a month or so. So this is testing the balancing of the vehicle. When it flies, we want it to be stable, so we put it on the spin table and just verify everything is the mass properties are as we expected.
The goal of the team is to create a vehicle that can transport heavier rovers to Mars and in the future carry supplies to astronauts stationed on the Red Planet. The vehicle must be able to safely decelerate from supersonic speeds to subsonic speeds in a low-density environment, such as Mars' atmosphere. According to Schroeder, the different technologies used in the LDSD could also be used separately for various missions to Mars.
The program itself is demonstrating new technologies to allow us to land heavier objects on Mars. So we're testing brand new parachutes that are twice as large as what's been flown before, and a supersonic aerodynamic decelerator, which is like a larger heat shield that goes around the heat shield that slows us down faster so we can land heavier objects on Mars. But potentially we can use the parachute right away on a near-term mission to land a heavier rover on Mars. And the supersonic decelerator portion is another technology we can use to potentially land heavier payloads on Mars or at a higher altitude, eventually paving the way to human exploration.
While it's not clear when the LDSD will make its first trip to Mars, Deputy Flight System Engineer on the LDSD project, Martin Greco, says it's likely the technology used in this project will be implemented for future space travel.
There is a possibility that Mars 2020 could use one of our decelerators, or if not, just a parachute. So that's something that's still up in the air, right, given that we still have to test and validate it.
A test flight to be conducted on the Pacific Missile Range facility in Hawaii on June the 2nd. Uber has filed complaints with Brussels against Spain and Germany over their bans on the mobile phone taxi hailing service, ramping up the U.S. company's battle against legal challenges across Europe. The European Commission confirmed on Wednesday, April the 1st, it had received a complaint against a German ban on Uber offering its unlicensed services. A spokesperson for the company said it had filed a similar complaint against Spain on Monday. Uber has already filed 2 complaints against a French law it says favors regular taxi companies at its expense. Uber is the world's most valuable venture-backed startup with a valuation of $40 billion, but is facing increasing legal challenges across Europe, where local taxi drivers have taken to both the streets and the courts to fight it. It's been criticized worldwide over how it pays drivers, charges passengers, and ensures their safety. Taxi companies argue that it competes unfairly because it does not have to pay their steep license fees and it bypasses local laws. To date, Uber has been hit by court injunctions in Belgium, France, Germany, the Netherlands, and Spain. Robotic ants the size of a human hand that work together could be the future of factory production systems. The developer's German technology firm, Festo, says it's not just the unusual anatomy of real-world ants that inspired the bionic version. The collective intelligence of an ant colony was also something they wanted to replicate. The bionic ants cooperate and coordinate their actions and movements to achieve a common aim, in the same way individual ants complete tasks for the whole colony. Festo says that in the future, production systems will be based on intelligent individual components that adjust themselves to different production demands by communicating with each other. The ants are able to complete complex tasks like transporting large heavy loads that they wouldn't be able to achieve individually by working together. The robot features a stereo camera and a floor sensor that together allow the ant work out its location and identify objects to be grabbed by grippers at the front of its head. The antennae double up as chargers for the lithium batteries that power the ant's movements. A radio module in the abdomen allows the ants to communicate with each other wirelessly. And just like their natural counterparts, the ants have 6 articulated legs. Festo says the way the ants are constructed is unique too. The bodies of the bionic ants are made from a 3D printed plastic powder melted layer by layer with a laser. The circuitry is also 3D printed on top of the body. Festo says this is the first time the techniques have been combined. The ceramic legs and pincers are flexible actuators that move quickly and precisely without using much energy. Again, Festo says the application of this so-called piezo technology to miniature robots like its bionic ants is a first. The bionic ants are part of the developer's bionic learning network. Festo works on transferring natural phenomena to engineering techniques and equipment. The technology firm says the factories of the future will have to produce customized products, meaning that they will have to adapt to different production requirements. Festo plans to exhibit his robotic ants in April at the Hanover Messe, the world's biggest industrial technology fair. The German engineering company will also show up other recent creations like cooperative artificial butterflies.
AllinOne PCs offers solid features packed nicely into a sophisticated, creative design that looks great in any office or room. they're the perfect balance between traditional stationary computers and laptops. One major advantage of all-in-one desktops is that there is no need to purchase a monitor or CPU. In fact, there is very little installation required, so you can start using it once it's set up. Before we proceed, bear in mind that when purchasing an all-in-one PC that you can't upgrade most of the components after purchase. This means that you have to do your research and be certain about any decisions made. We'll let you in some important elements to keep in mind when shopping for an all-in-one personal computer. But first, here are some advantages and disadvantages of all-in-one computers. Setup is relatively easy. Just unpack, plug in the keyboard, mouse and power supply and you're good to go. The one-box design are a lot more attractive than a bulky, noisy PC unit and a separate monitor with chunky cables running between the two. An all-in-one would usually produce better, clearer sound than a laptop and also has a better range of connections for plugins in cameras, printers, external hard drives and other devices. Since all-in-one computers is a modern desktop, you'll be presented with a fully sized screen. Plus, the fact that using a mouse and a keyboard makes working on a PC for a longer period less strenuous and more productive. Finally, if you do a lot of video and photo editing work, then this is a better partner for you. The first disadvantage is its pricing. All-in-one computers don't come cheap. It does cost more than the equivalent desktop PC and monitor bought separately. Most of the all-in-one computers are not upgradable, so once you buy, you are stuck with that configuration until you are ready to upgrade. Most of them use more power than a laptop, but models that allow you to use the display without turning on the computer will consume less power. A big plus for all-in-one computers is the design element and simplicity. Most of them are lightweight enough to be moved around so easily, which is great if you have limited space. They have a clean look and feel that fits well with most spaces. They have virtually no wires and there's no bulky stationary system to make room for, so they're aesthetically appealing. Perhaps the best part of their design element is the beautiful, huge widescreen that consumes your attention instantly. It is easy to replace the monitor of a desktop, but with an all-in-one, you're stuck, as it were.